I got into construction in the mid-90s and worked for a great guy in Arizona. Learned a lot about the construction industry. Went on my own in 2001, started my own construction company, Elm Builders. 2006, we had an opportunity to build a self-storage property in Arizona. 2008, we had an opportunity to move to Costa Rica. We thought this would be a great opportunity to take our family abroad, see what international living is like. Built some projects down there, which was a whole experience of its own with 20 employees and nobody spoke English. But that was a real adventure for us as a family. That whole adventure really kind of blossomed into a 3.5-year boat adventure. We found out we were pregnant while we were in Turkey. We sailed to Israel and had a baby in Jerusalem, and then made our way across the Mediterranean. Never knew this was going to grow into such a big adventure. Even then, we weren't sure how the adventure was going to end. By this time, our older kids were in their teen years, and it was becoming clear like we need to make thoughts towards going back to the United States. So we said, well, if we can sail across the Mediterranean and feel comfortable, then we'll talk about crossing the Atlantic. So we did exactly that. In 2012, we sailed across the Mediterranean, came down West Africa, and ended up sailing across the ocean in 18 days. It's a challenging lifestyle. You know, everybody thinks you're just laying around in the sun drinking Mai Tais, but it's very challenging, but very rewarding. We were all working towards a common goal, and we were all in it together. We were all learning. So it really took a lot of pride out. Nobody had all the answers, so we were just kind of leaning on each other to figure things out and giving a lot of grace to each other, which I think has really helped our family just be patient with each other and give each other the benefit of the doubt. My wife and I started our company so that we could get more intentional about how we were spending our time and the direction we were going.
Anytime, from the boat, it was always just doing the next thing in front of us. Learning how to sail. The first step was getting the boat out of the marina into a slip, and then getting this, the boat from a slip to an anchorage, and just doing literally the next thing that's right in front of us was kind of our training, I feel like, on the boat of, yeah, you're not gonna hop on the boat and then cross the Atlantic, a month later, but just doing those constant steps forward and constantly learning something, I think has been huge, especially here as we've grown the team.
So Nomad Capital is the syndication group that buys the property. Elm Builders is our construction division. City Storage is our brand that we manage self-storage properties with. We have it in the same building as Nomad Capital, and so it's very seamless the way we hand off the project from the construction team to the management team.
So the most important thing is this location. 31% of self-storage users choose to use that storage because they see the location. That's one of our most important things, is the high density areas.
If we go in and we build self-storage from the ground up, it's going to cost us $120 or $130 a square foot plus the cost of the land. By buying old big box retail that's been put out of business, we can get the shell of the building for a fraction of the replacement costs.
We get to utilize the quicker lead time as well, to utilize the faster lease-up time. We just get massive margins on it. I mean, over the life cycle of the project, the expenses relatively stay the same, but the rent continues to grow. The revenue just keeps growing and the expenses just keep declining in the scheme of things. In exchange, that leads to bigger cash-on-cash returns for our investors, a higher IRR, and some other financial metrics that determine returns.
We're in lovely Gastonia. This is actually my favorite project. It was an old sun drop bottling facility that we're converting to climate-controlled self-storage.
It's one of the big steps while we had the building under contract during due diligence, getting engineers here to evaluate the upstairs floor, if it was able to hold storage. We subcontract those to engineers and contractors that we have relationships with. We just want ugly ducklings that we can turn into swans, really, and try to find opportunity through that.
I work with the Nomad team every single day. I feel like I'm a part of their family. It's a really tight-knit community. We're all super passionate, and you can see that in our work.
We purchased this building for $1.5 million. We're going to put about $3 to $3.5 million into the renovation to turn it into self-storage.
I had a lot of issues, roof leaks, damaged concrete, all that kind of stuff that comes with buying an old building. But it's really turned around, and yeah, it's a lovely project.
As soon as we're done with our construction part, we have an appraisal that puts it at $9 million. And then as we lease it up as self-storage and operate it successfully over the next 5 to 8 years, it's going to be worth the range of 15 to 18 million.
When we started Nomad Capital, we were trying to get our story out there, but in a way that says, hey, we've got a great story, we've got a great project here, and it's going to do really well. We've got Clint and Neil that are on our investor relations team, capital raising team, and they've just done a fantastic job of, I think, more than just raising capital. I think they've done a fantastic job of telling our story.
The way that I look at my job is educating people about what our strategy is, what syndication as a whole is, kind of the mindset behind being a passive investor.
I feel fortunate to have met Clint because I wouldn't have known about syndication. So with short-term Airbnbs, it's wildly active. You're not just buying a house, putting it up for rent, and getting rich from it. The property management piece is extremely hands-on. There's only so much time and room, so we couldn't go get 20 Airbnbs and scale the way we wanted to, and it's not fun. The attraction with Nomad Capital and syndication in general is not doing anything. Just putting your money to work and letting experts with the knowledge use their knowledge.
I think that the peace of mind on who these people are as individuals, the respect that I have for them and the trust that I've been able to build with them just because of how well and transparent they communicate has allowed me to just really build that trust with them on a professional and a personal level.
We talk about all the time how we feel so proud of what we've done, but also so humbled at the same time that we are a part of this team and a part of this vision.
This team is very passionate. You can tell that. I mean, if you walk in here, the excitement is overflowing, right? So they care about the people that they have invested.
As I've gotten further away from the construction side of things, I miss that, but also I'm still building. It's just a different kind of building.
This is it. This is what we like to do. Hang out with our families, hang out with each other.
Today we're having a day just with the company getting together and enjoying where we live. The whole idea behind Nomad Capital is like everybody's chasing financial freedom, but what we're really after and what we really try to embrace is freedom of purpose. It doesn't mean you're not passionate about what you do or what you choose to spend your time on, but you get to choose when you want to do it and how you want to do it, and you get to do it with friends and family, just like this. There was a lot of work for years and years, especially by Eric and Levi, that went on building up to this point. And it's trust that everybody on the team knows what they're doing and that it's worked before, got a track record.
They've been growing very rapidly since I started, and they're not slowing down anytime soon.
Super optimistic about next year. We know we've got big things as a group.
Yeah, Levi will come hauling down the hall in the big hat and just shouting, "Let's go!" And you know something good happened. We closed on a property. We did something amazing, and everybody is just really in it for each other and their families.
If we don't do this, we're gonna have regrets. And I really felt like that's how we feel about Nomad. Like, we think we can do it. Like, I think we can put the team together. We've got some amazing people here. And if we don't try, when we get to the end of our life, we're gonna be like, why didn't we just try it?
I hope people see that we're just regular folks, honest, full of integrity, doing the best for our families, doing the best we can at what we do, and we try to keep life in perspective.
Levi and I are excited to share with our investors. We've built a team that we are able to help our investors achieve freedom of time, freedom of location, and financial freedom, and all of that together will lead to a freedom of purpose. That's what we're excited to share with our investors, so let's be nomads together.
If you're ready to become a real estate nomad, schedule a call with our investor relations team at nomadcapital.us.